Krishna, Jai Shri Ram. So today I would like to tell you about diarrhea and how we can cure it with astrological and Ayurvedic remedies. So in astrological remedies, we're going to see various kinds of gems, mantras and all of those things, and how in the astrological chart can a person get diarrhea. So the etiology of diarrhea and the diagnosis and the therapeutic way to cure it will also be given here. So the text here referred to are Veerasimhavalokaha, a medieval time book of a great Raja who had written about so many different kinds of diseases and how you can how you can cure them with various different kinds of medicines. The second text here that I have referred to is one of the biggest and best books of Ayurveda, that is ASTROLOGY, which has a huge chapter dedicated to the disease diarrhea and dysentery. So in Ayurveda, diarrhea is called as atisara. So therefore, it means that it's flowing, too much of flowing in the body. And dysentery is called as pravahika, that means flooding. So dysentery is a severe disease, more severe disease than diarrhea, and it is very important that we consider the three doshas before analyzing this disease. So Abhigya, can you please show it here? So astrologically, a native who has Buddha in one of the houses of Saturn. So we know that Saturn has two homes, Aquarius and Capricorn. So this is also very beneficial for an Ayurvedic exponent to also practice and help a patient who does not have access to a astrologer. So it's very good if an Ayurvedic person also is able to at least judge the disease even before it comes. So there are many great Ayurvedic physicians who also know astrology. Even in the ancient time, astrologers knew the fundamentals of Ayurveda, and Ayurvedic great physicians knew the fundamentals of astrology. So Buddha in Aquarius or Capricorn with the sun can cause diarrhea. So if it's in Capricorn or Aquarius, so it can be in both these homes, and it should be along with the sun. So if you have a Shani aspect here or Rahu in the 6th house, etc., then it is even more dangerous for the person's health. So here I have given an example jataka of a person who is sure to get diarrhea, sure, 100% sure, because first thing is that the 5th house, the house of the stomach, is occupied by Shani, and the 6th house is occupied by Rahu, and we have the 8th house that is occupied by the moon, moon, Venus and Mars. So it is also there in Veerasimhavalokaha that if moon, Venus and Mars are all together present in the 8th house, then they also cause diarrhea. So here we have seen various combinations by which diarrhea is sure to happen. Dysentery also can happen. So why do we consider the 5th house also before we consider diarrhea? 5th house is also very important because it rules the stomach and the gastrointestinal area. So when we consider the 5th house, we have to immediately see that in the 5th house, the stomach is there. The 1st house is the head, 2nd house the face, and so on. We come to the 5th house, which is ruling the stomach. And then we have moon and Venus in the 8th house, or Mars and Venus in the 8th house, or moon, Mars and Venus in the 8th house cause diarrhea. And sometimes in Shani Dasha and Rahu Bhukti, diarrhea also comes. In this particular Shani Dasha and Rahu Bhukti, a person will have many enemies, and this person will start having closer contacts with the enemies, and loss of wealth is certain, wounds by weapons will happen, and remedies with mantras and tantras. Now we shall see first. For Buddha affliction, there is a mantra called Ulbudhaswa, and that should be chanted many times to relieve the pain, and also along with this a homa with gingerly seeds should be done, and twigs of Acheranthus aspera. So we know what is Acheranthus aspera. It's a prickly sharp flower. So the twigs of that and the homa of gingerly seeds will help for the person who has diarrhea. And bath should also be done. A ritual bath should be undertaken by a person who has diarrhea, especially a person who has pitta diarrhea. A beautiful bath with various herbs and a ritual bath will calm down the stomach and cool down the fierce Jatharagni in the case of pitta tisaram. And then gifting and wearing gold is also very important. The ancient Hindus believe that gold is Agni, the seat of fire, and silver is the seat of water. So gold is very important for people who have problems with Agni. the Jakharagni. So wearing and gifting of gold ritually is very important. Next, there is a special mantra called Kayan or Chitra mantra, and that should also be chanted. And the Rajavartam gem should be worn by people who have diarrhea and dysentery. Shani Puja should be conducted very often for people who have Shani Dasha, Rahu Bhukti, diarrhea. Most people get problems like diarrhea when they have Shani Dasha and Rahu Bhukti. So it is very good if the person takes bath, and Shani Puja should also be done. 27.5 gram gold image of a blazing Agni Devata who is beautiful and who has two faces and who is sitting on his beautiful ram should be gifted to a pure Brahmana who performs all his rituals, Agnihotra, etc. And this one will help a lot. And also Veerasimhavalokaha and Padma Purana state that a person who destroys the three kinds of Agni, we know that there are three kinds of Agni, Garhaspatya, etc. So a person who destroys these three kinds of Agnis, they get into big problems with diarrhea. A person who also destroys ponds and lakes gets diarrhea. So if a person destroys ponds and lakes or demolishes it or dries it up or uses it up or put lots of chemicals into it, and all of these things happening today, if it is done by anybody, they are sure to get diarrhea in the next birth or in this birth itself. And then one must give this 27.5 gram gold image to a Brahmana. It is not very affordable for poor people, but for rich people they can do it. But for poor people there are many more remedies that will come just the next ones, and that will be of Ayurveda, and there are also a few gems that can be advised, and also ritual baths and performing homas, etc. also can be done. Rudrashtaka according to Prashna Marga should be administered to the patient, and the patient should chant Rudrashtakam occasionally and also regularly. And then Varunashtakam also, as advised by Prashna Marga, Varunashtakam also must be said by that person. And Agni Rasmi is a mantra that is advised by sage Baudhayana, and this should be chanted for 10,000 times. It is mortally difficult for people in the modern world to chant it for 10,000 times. So if the person is able to, they can chant it for 10,000 times, or you can look for other alternative remedies for this. Now, passing on to Ayurveda, we shall see how the disease comes, the etiology of the disease. Next, we'll see the diagnosis of the disease, the symptoms, and then the therapeutic part of the disease. So, the etiology of the disease is Kapha, Rasa, Mutra and Sweda, or the phlegmatic compound Kapha, Rasa, plasma and life liquid, Mutra, that is urine, and Sweda, that is sweat. When these four get vitiated and enter the bowels, they make the bowels very thin, and then when it's excreted, it looks like it's urine. So that kind of a problem is also present with some people. Or some people also have very less fecal matter and more urine when they excrete. So that is also a symptom of diarrhea. So to increase the fecal matter, a person should eat kapha items. Sometimes when pitta tisaram, that means that there'll be a burning sensation in the rectum. So a person who has pitta tisaram should immediately perform the remedies related to pitta. And person who has kapha tisaram should perform the remedies related to vata tisaram, that will be discussed later. So basically the primordial components of sweat, etc. cause diarrhea. And then kapha, etc. causes dull digestion. So when there is dull digestion, the fecal matter is not properly created, and instead liquid matter is excreted along with fecal matter through the rectum. So this can happen even if a person has kapha tisaram. Pitta tisaram is a problem in which the agni is too much, and then person excretes lots of acidic excretion, and also that will be along with more urine matter than fecal matter. So to increase the fecal matter, one should eat kapha and fibrous items. Next, let's see the symptoms of a person who has atisaram or diarrhea. Sharp stinging pain in the body is common with people who have atisaram. Can you please show this here, Abhigya? And people who have this sharp stinging pain, it will generally be in the heart, the navel, the anus or the stomach. So there will be a sharp pain of gas moving around in those areas. So when you feel such a sharp pain, you should know that you're getting diarrhea and immediately perform the important measures that have to be performed. A tired body is also seen. You won't be moving a lot an obstructed wind movement and obstructed movement around the body, and sometimes the wind might go too up to the head and you might get a headache, and sometimes it will be a constipative thing, so a person might get constipation. In the very beginning, a person will get constipation. So constipation is a sign when fecal matter is getting reduced and urinal matter is increasing. So the next sign will be constipation, in the sense very less fecal matter. When you have diarrhea, it does not mean that you are excreting well. It means that a person has severe constipation. That is, that person is not able to excrete fecal matter, rather is excreting urinal matter through the fecal glands. And then bloating of the stomach. So people who generally have diarrhea get bloating of the stomach, and a doctor should diagnose by just tapping the stomach a little bit, and you'll hear a tap 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 sound. That means that there is air build up there. So when there is air build up in the stomach, you should know that that is a symptom of diarrhea. And indigestion is very important. So when you eat something, it might come out like reverse peristalsis or something like that, and then otherwise it might just get badly digested, and vata will move up to the head, and vata moving up is very bad, because vata's place, as we learned in the Tridosha video, is under the feet or under the abdomen. So lower abdominal area is the place where vata area begins. So if it starts moving up, that is obstructive wind movement or abnormal wind movement. So when you see all of these things, this is a symptom of a person having diarrhea. Abhigya, can you please show here? Now we shall come to the types of diarrhea. There are basically 6 types as given by Veerasimhavalokana, but in Ashtanga Hridaya, many more types have been given, like Raktatisara, etc. So let's see these 6 types and some more types too. Vatatisara, the first one, that is Vata dosha vitiation causes this, and when a person has Vatatisara, they generally have a very sharp pain all over the body, and while excreting, all the fecal matter will not be coming out for lots of time, but suddenly it will all come out along with urinal matter. So that's why these people are having Vatatisara. Pittatisara is the condition where bile gets vitiated dangerously. Pitta dosha vitiation is what we call it. And when a person has this problem, Agni gets vitiated in the body, and the Agni becomes very tikshna. So there are some patients with Pittatisara who continue eating. After the Pittatisara is quite a bit cured, they continue eating chilies, etc. So once they keep eating such things, the Pittatisara gets vitiated even more and turns into bleeding diarrhea or Raktatisara. So one should be very careful of such diseases. And Shokatisara is the next one. Kaphatisara is the next one. Kaphatisara means Kapha dosha vitiation, which causes a diarrhea. So Kapha dosha vitiation generally is like these components, primordial components of liquid, Kapha, Rasa, Mutra and Sweda, which are all ruled by Kapha. When they get vitiated and the Agni is fine, everything else is fine. But these 4 things get vitiated, accompanied by dangerous indigestion, that is Kaphatisara. Generally, Kaphatisara and Vatatisara have the same symptoms. So when a person has these 2 diseases, one must take the medications of the same. Ayurvedic cures of this. Can you please show here, Abhigya? Langhanam Paramushadam. That means that Langhana or fasting is the most important cure for people who have diarrhea. So people who have diarrhea must fast. That's the best remedy. Next thing is vomiting is very important, because when a person has diarrhea, it is a sign of toxicity in the body. Dangerous levels of toxicity in the body. So body, when it's trying to remove the toxicity, it vitiates the doshas automatically and a person excretes that way. So please remove it by vomiting, and do not take any vomit restrictive medicine like allopathic medicines which stop vomiting. They are called Sangrahana medicines. They are also present in Ayurveda, but do not take any medicine which prevents vomiting. We should take the vomiting therapy when we have diarrhea. And the next thing is that there is one more remedy. Take 3 parts of milk and 1 part of water and mix this. It becomes 4 parts, totally 4. And okay, for example, we take 3 liters of milk and 1 liter of water, and we take 4 liters of this mixture totally and reduce it to half. 4 liters become 2 liters, and then by boiling, well, you must reduce it to 1/8 also if it's possible, and there's about half liter or even 1/4 you can reduce it, that is about quarter liter or half liter, 1 or 1/8 liter, and a person can drink this. It's very, very good for diarrhea. The next thing is Premna Korimbosa. It is called in Malayalam, if I am correct, it is called Payaranda, and this medicine must be taken. So what is the recipe to make this? It is a very interesting recipe. It's simple also. Take the skin or the the outer covering of the tuber of this root of Premna Korimbosa, and then take the skin, take some lotus petals, crush it well, grind it well, and put it inside a lotus leaf. Put the total mixture inside the lotus leaf. Wrap the lotus leaf from all sides. Put a mud plaster around it. Boil it over burning coals. Spread it over mud. Open it, spread it over mud, and then take that, squeeze the juice out of it, mix it with honey, and give it to the patient, and see that it will be cured immediately without any bigger medication, etc. And don't take the patient to the ICU of hospitals. They will just destroy the person entirely, because they don't consider from where the diarrhea is coming. They have only one consideration: diarrhea or dysentery. They never consider what is Vata Atisara, what is Pitta Atisara, what is Kapha Atisara, Sannipata Atisara. They don't consider any of these things. So patients who have such problems like Ama Atisara, etc., please do not go to any doctor. You can cure it easily at home. Even if you have Pravahika, that is dysentery, which takes lives, millions of lives in winter, because people go to hospitals and die there, it is very dangerous. So please take care of the patients at home. And there are various methods here. So once you give this Premna Korimbosa medicine, it's very powerful. And I shall try to make another video how to make it practically. I'll just show you and make it. And then Vildwadi Kashayam is another medicine. I'll try to make a video to make this also. Vatsadi Kashayam, Dhanyadi Kashayam, Musthadi Churnam, and Kutajashtakam. These are all various medicines. Vildwadi Kashayam is an oral dilution. You must take it like an oral or a juice kind of thing. Vatsadi Kashayam is also an oral dilution, a kashaya or tea. Dhanyadi Kashayam is also an oral dilution. Musthadi Churnam is a powder, so this powder also can be taken. Kutajashtakam is a tablet. There is a method to make this tablet. So let's try to make this also. Haritaki is like Amrit according to Ashtanga Hridaya for people who have diarrhea. So for people who have diarrhea, please take Triphala powder or Haritaki. And then Kashaya referred to in Ashtanga Hridaya. There is one more Kashaya. There are 4 types of Kashayas given in Ashtanga Hridaya for a person who has diarrhea. Buttermilk is also very, very good for a person who has diarrhea according to Ashtanga Hridaya. And sour gruel according to Veera Simhavalokana and Ashtanga Hridaya must be administered to the patient along with shali rice. This is also very important. So when a person has such conditions like diarrhea, one must take shali rice with vegetable soup or thin sour gruel or kanji and eat that. That is also very good. And the next thing is that hing must be given to the patient. Not just like that. There's a long purificatory procedure for hing. After that, they're supposed to take it in a special way, and that is the way to do it. So let's see all of these remedial measures in the next few videos about diarrhea. But for now, let's do only this much. And milk plus ginger, curd plus ginger, and oil plus ginger must be given to people who have diarrhea. But please do not give milk plus ginger and then immediately curd plus ginger and immediately oil plus ginger. It will become a problem, because if you take milk and curd together, it is incompatible, and if you take milk and oil together, the oil spreads all over the body and it's also dangerous. So take it at different intervals. So if the person has to take in oil, then please put ginger also in it. If a person has to take milk, please put ginger powder into it. If a person has to take curd, put ginger powder into it. This also can cure diarrhea very fast. For any kind of problem relating to diarrhea or dysentery, the best medication is vomiting. Second, fasting. When a person is undertaking these 2 things, fasting does not mean the ritual fasting. Well, the fasting in which we don't take too much of food, we don't eat too many things, and only medications should be taken, or 1 day of fasting and 1 day of medication alternate. A doctor can A perfect Ayurvedic physician can tell you which one to do first and which one to do second, fasting and medicine. Or you can combine both and do it, but do not eat anything heavy, because when the body's digestive system is very weak, a person should not eat heavily. Instead, very light food like shali and shali rice is a kind of rice. It is a different variety of rice. So eat that with vegetable soup. So generally a diabetic patient will not actually like any food for lots of time. Unless they are hungry, a person should not give them food. So that's also very important. And vomiting and fasting are the best things. So that's one conclusion we can make. Diet for diabetic patients. Abhigya, correctly, Shwaya? So diabetic patients can have this kind of diet. Strictly ban all sorts of junk food first. Whether you having diarrhea or not, just ban junk food, because you can see my videos about junk food, and junk food is very dangerous for people, and diarrhea cannot be cured unless you stop every single kind of junk food and you stop all the 5 evils. So what are the 5 evils? They are: 1. Sugar, salt. Sugar should be taken only, palm sugar should be taken. Whenever I say take sugar for diarrhea, please only take palm sugar, because I'm going to advise some more medications here. So one of them is sugar. So please do not take the mishri. Please do not take refined sugar. Take palm sugar. That is also very good for you. And the next thing is that for salt, take saindhava lavana. If it's needed in your food, take saindhava lavana. And then for salt and of course ORS also can be taken for diabetic patients. That's also a good thing. So in water, if you mix just 1 pinch of salt and then put sugar in it, that's also a conventional type of thing. You can use that also. It's fine. So whenever I talk about salt, please do not take refined salt. Take only little bit of saindhava lavana. And whenever I say oil, please only take oil from a Ghana store. I mean Ghana store in the sense they'll have an oil pressing machine, cold pressed oil. And please do not buy refined oil. Whenever I say milk, please do not take Jersey milk. I mean A2 milk, that is indigenous cow's milk, India cow's milk. For British people, the indigenous cow is their Jersey or whatever. But the indigenous cow here means our Indian cows, which are proven to be the best ones in the world. So this is very important. And the next dietary thing that a person must be taking is: do not eat in Teflon and aluminium vessels. That is also very important, because the body will already be very weak when a person has diarrhea, and when one takes Teflon and aluminium at this particular critical stage, a person will be very, very close to toxicity, and again they'll have recurring diarrhea. Take light food and do not stress the digestive system too much. Unless the person is hungry, as I said before, do not give them food. Shali rice is the best for such people. Shali rice plus vegetable soup enriched with fats and ghee must be given to such a person. This diet increases fecal matter and reduces liquid matter. So there's also a fibrous diet. One must give ghee also. This reduces the very watery elements, and also this is good for even Vata Tisara, Pitta Tisara and Kapha Tisara. The reason why is, in the condition of Vata Tisara, a person has bloating gas, that also can be reduced by this. In the condition of Pitta Tisara, and please do not put chilies or anything like that in the vegetable soup. And if the person needs a little bit of spicy thing, put just a pinch of pepper powder, nothing else. Just a pinch of it. And do not give anything more with the vegetable soup. And please do not eat cold things first and then hot things, or hot things first and then cold things. This is also very important for people who have diarrhea, because you're changing the virya, and eat things which are close to their virya and vipaka. Things which have common viryas and vipakas. Absorb maximum sun rays. This is also very important for a person with diarrhea. Maximum sun rays should be absorbed. Even if a person is fasting, do not sit inside a small room. Go and sit in the sunlight, whether you have some business or work or anything. It's very important for anybody, forget about only diabetic patients, to go to the sunlight and sit there. Take little food, that's also very important. Whether you're hungry or not, just a little of gruel, that too very light food, should be given to the person. Eat within morning 8:30 a.m. and evening 5 o'clock p.m. Last but not least, the most important thing for a person who has diarrhea is that they must not, under any condition, get up very early. So please get up in the Vata time, that is 5:40 or 6 o'clock, but do not get up 4:30, 3:30, or even if that is your ritual, do not get up at such a time. Take your time, sleep well, and then get up, because the body needs digestion, time for digestion, good digestion, but the excretion is also very important. But a person who has loose motions, diarrhea, etc., do not at all get up early. That is also very important. Next thing, Abhigya, can you please show it here? Bleeding diarrhea is called Raktatisara. Goat's milk should be boiled with the stock of Nymphia stellata, that is Utpala in Sanskrit, plus Boswellia gum. These three things should be boiled well, and then this should be used to bathe the rectum, and also it should be used to consume. So one can consume this, plus you can use it for bathing the affected area, rectum. Vatatisara is the next type that we have not covered well. Drink lots of milk directly from the udder. So do not boil the milk and then drink it. Directly from the udder, drink lots of milk. Milk plus milk, so a person who has Vatatisara should drink milk plus roots of Ricinus communis, that is Yeranda in Sanskrit, or it is also called castor in English. So take the roots of the castor oil plant, not the oil, the roots, and then Bala Bilva, small leaves of fruits of Bilva, Eagle marmelas, should be added into this, boiled and drunk well. Kaphatisara has the same medication as Vatatisara. Next, Pittatisara. Please bathe the rectum, because when a person has Pittatisara type of diarrhea, they generally have burning sensation in the rectum. So when a person has Pittatisara, one must be immediately given things that cool down the entire body. So what is that? Those are: 1. Drink cooling items. Sugar plus honey plus sandalwood paste. As I told before, the sugar referred to here is not refined sugar. Plus, so take this important medication: sugar, honey, rice wash water. So after you first wash rice, then wash it again. Please do not take pesticide rice, because when you're washing it and you drink the water of it, you're taking all the pesticides and the whatever chemicals inside it, not the pesticide, I mean the polishing chemical. So take unpolished rice, wash it, and you see one white liquid coming out of it. That liquid must be mixed with sugar and with honey, with sandalwood paste, and given to the patient. It cools the body entirely. Tandu dodaka, or rice wash water, is very important because it is a cooling thing for the body. Sugar is also cooling, and along with that, honey is a little hot, but when you mix it with sugar, etc., it becomes cooling. Its effect changes a little bit. And also sandalwood paste is of course known as the most cooling thing of all cooling agents. Rice wash water, and this thing that I told now, sandalwood paste, etc., this cooling thing should also be used to bathe the rectum. The next thing is that how do you know that a person has been cured from diarrhea? The 3 malas should be eliminated separately. How is that? When eliminating urine or flatus, a person should not be eliminating feces, or vice versa. Digestive fire or appetite should go up, and a person should start digesting well and asking for food. Alimentary canal should start to become very light, because a person who has diarrhea will have a heavy stomach and will not be able to move around. When the alimentary canal, the whole canal, becomes light, the person has been cured from stomach ailments. So please try to perform most of these things, and you can see that your cure will be very fast. So thank you. Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Shri Ram.